That's right. This is Bad Weather Fans, episode number 180. Mike Biseglia, Alex Benezowitz. And quite frankly, there is nothing going on with the Nets or the Knicks. We're waiting for trades, we're waiting for rumors, and we're all scrolling down Twitter nonstop, and nothing is happening. So Alex is out this week, and I wanted to mix it up a little bit, change it up a little bit, and do a little Nets and Knicks trivia. Okay, what does that mean exactly? We'll get right into it here on the podcast. We've got a Nets fan in Adam and a Knicks fan in Eric. I'll introduce them shortly. If you're watching on YouTube, you can, of course, see their beautiful faces as they get ready for this crazy trivia game that I have in store. Here's the bottom line. We got 6 Nets questions, 6 Knicks questions. I'll direct my net questions to Adam and my Nick questions, of course, to Eric. If they get each of those questions right, it's worth 2 points. Here's where it gets a little tricky. If, for example, one of them gets it wrong, the other person has the ability to steal and get the answer right. One caveat to that. If they want to elect to get the question and they get it right, they get 3 points. However, if they don't get it right, they lose a point. So there is a little risk involved if they want to steal and answer the question about the other team. Of course, the Nets and Knicks, they basically play about 8 miles away from each other. Well, I guess that was when it was in New Jersey and New York. It's a short distance. So this is not like we're doing, Knicks and Raptors. There could be some crossover as you kind of follow the other team as we're growing up. All right. So with that in mind, let's introduce our team members. First, representing the Knicks, it's Eric. He's a 35-year-long suffering fan who fell in love with the Knicks because of a certain fellow Caribbean native, Patrick Ewing. Eric, welcome to Bad Weather Fans for the second time. And how's everything? Good luck tonight. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be here. I'm sorry Alex isn't here. Not really, but good to be here, man.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. And then on the net side, we have Adam, who's been a fan since he seriously started watching in 1995 with the Sam Cassell Nets with Coach Calipari. That's what got him into it. He had 2-for-1 season tickets in the Meadowlands and was vehemently against trading Marbury for Kidd. I'm on the record saying I was all for that trade because I saw what was going to come, just like when you follow me on Twitter at Mike Delivers Pod. You know my takes are going to be good. But Adam, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming on and good luck tonight. How are you doing?
Yeah, thanks for the invite. The AC, like I was telling you before, is a little on the fritz, so I'm a little bit shiny in the forehead, but I'm pretty excited to get started.
But when we do have Alex back here, I know you and him have gone after it on Twitter a little bit. I promise in real life he's a decent person and not the Twitter persona that he has on. We did have a coin toss before this started, so I want to mention that we did have a coin toss before this started, and on that it was Adam that won the rights to go first, so he will go first. And let me start with this before we even get there, Adam, and then we'll go to Eric. Just tell us real quick, and I mentioned it a little bit in the introduction, but how you became a Net fan and some of your early Net memories that kind of got you into the team.
Yeah, so I started seriously watching basketball in 95, and then I started seriously following the Nets in, I guess it's 97, 98 was the year they had Cassell, and they finally got back to the playoffs with Calipari as the coach. Early Net memories, I would say the finals years were kind of when I really really got into it. I went to the first trip to the finals. I went to Game 3. Was actually the closest game of the series. They lost that one. And then over the years, then they made they had Vince Carter. That era was a lot of fun, even though they were never really truly a contender. And then getting excited about Brooke Lopez when he got drafted and they fell to him, and then 12 and 70 and Chris Douglas Roberts and Yee and the chair and all that fun stuff, and the Dwight Howard nightmare, Carmelo, Duran, Darren Williams, and then all the way up to the last decade or so in Brooklyn. So yeah.
And then last one before I move on to Eric, is there certain trivia you're worried about getting? Is there something in your wheelhouse you don't want, or something you don't want me to ask you?
Yeah, you know what? I think I'll do all right, but let's see. If we go back, I think you said you were gonna go back to around 96-ish era.
Yeah, I won't. I'm not going pre-90s.
Yeah, so
I'm not
I think
doing
like
that.
that kind of stuff might get me, but yeah, I think I might be all right. Let's see though.
All right, and then Eric, another big diehard Knicks fan who came on this podcast when you won fantasy basketball or football league. But Eric,
Football,
for
yeah.
those new or hearing you for the first time on Bad Weather, tell everybody about your fandom as a Knicks fan.
I mean, for me, it started around 92, 91-ish, somewhere around there. Right, I would say like around like Patrick's prime as he was entering like his prime years. And like I said, in my initial the bio you read for me there, just being a kid from the Virgin Islands in the Caribbean, just the fact that he was from Jamaica, I thought that was awesome. He was literally like the only player in the league that's from the Caribbean, at least to my knowledge at the time. And him being that good of a player was awesome. I have a ton of family who lives in New York. They're all Knicks fans. So I'm like, this is my team. And that's just that. So I really just adopted the team. And that's at the same time I started following the NBA anyway. Um, Funny story, I think I told you guys the first time I was on in the Caribbean, we had the WGN channel in our cable package for whatever reason, which was Chicago based. And so I saw the Knicks a ton because every single Bulls game was on, and every time the Bulls played the Knicks,
Right.
it was on TV. So I felt like the Knicks was always on television when I was a kid, and I always was someone to root for the underdog. So I'm always wanting them to beat, Mike and the Bulls, and I just love those teams, the grit, the hardcore defense. That's the kind of that's what I like in all sports. So that definitely was easy for me to gravitate towards them. And like I said, man, it's like 30 years deep, and through all of it, the Patrick years, the Spreewell, oh man, I got the Spreewell, Allen Houston years, um, Marbury years as well, our version of the Marbury years,
Right. Exactly.
and um, and of course Mello and what we got going on now. So yeah, it's been a long ride, man. It's a lot of ups, some ups, more ups than you would think. No, definitely a lot of downs as well.
Well, hopefully more downs in the future. You're asking me, but is there a questions you want me to stay away from? Something making you nervous as you enter this trivia contest?
Anything that's really like before I really latched on to following the team, really, like you hit me with something like who was a starting point guard in the 1982
Right.
roster, game
I
two
won't
of the
do that.
playoffs. Like
I
I have
won't do
no
that.
idea what you're talking about.
All right.
But
Well,
overall, I don't, whatever. This will be fun.
all right. Well, let's do it. And Adam did win the coin toss before the
I think
podcast
it was
started in
rigged,
the
by the way.
pre-production meeting. I'm going to start us off with one that does have steal ability if Adam gets it wrong, and I thought that would be a good way to start things off. If I wasn't lazy and had the energy, I'd post-produce this with a lot of fun music, but we're just going to get it started. So if you're listening at home, use your imagination. All right, Adam, are you ready for your first question?
As ready as I'm ever going to be.
In 2004, the Nets swept the Knicks 4-0 in the first round of the NBA playoffs. Who led the Nets in scoring for that series?
Let me think this one through.
For those listening on the podcast, Adam's thinking.
Yeah.
Is there a timer?
Man. Let's go. Oh, man. Jason Kidd.
That's incorrect. Eric, would you like to steal?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, go for it.
Kenyon Martin.
It is Kenyon Martin.
That was my second guess.
Mart, 23 points per game, torched the Knicks in that series. So an early lead for Eric, 3-0, gets the steal. I will ask and help because I don't have a producer with me. Please remember your scores because I will forget and don't trick me. All right. All right. Let's now go to Eric, who is up 3-0. What Knick made the all-rookie first team in the 2016-2017 season? And again, we don't have a timer. but there will be a point where I'm like, it's a podcast, and if there's dead air, that's probably a bad thing. So I will have to cut you off, and that's my strategy.
Succeed.
This is a question from at Nick Central. What Nick made the all rookie first team in 2016-2017 season? Do you have a guess?
I don't know what I want to say, but I feel like I don't think we drafted him then. Also, but he's like the only rookie I think that was any good. Porzingis?
Incorrect.
What?
Adam, do you have a steal?
That was going to be yes. Yeah, I don't think I have a steal. I'm going to skip it.
No problem. This was tough. This was tough from Alex, who, really, him and his research team did a great job here. Willie Hernan Gomez is the correct answer.
All rookie first team? What? Whoa. Okay.
That's what he said. I didn't double check his answers because I had a job at work today, and I wasn't questioning him. So you'll have to mention the Jib if you don't like that.
Wow. Okay.
All right. So we're 1-0, 3-0. All right, Adam, here we go. Next question for you. Buck Williams is the Nets' all-time leading rebounder, but who is second? Who is second to Buck Williams? The pressure is on.
I'm going to say Jason Williams.
Incorrect. Oh. Eric is Eric going to be the net savant here? Eric, would you like to steal? Would you like to steal?
No, because that was actually going to be my answer if he got it wrong. So no.
The answer is Brook Lopez.
Damn. I was thinking that, but I felt like no way he was leading. He had that many rebounds.
Yeah, there for that many seasons. You just compiled them up.
Makes sense.
Just compiled them up. All right, so still 3-0. Let's now go back to Eric. In the 1999 Eastern Conference Finals, Larry Johnson hit his famous 4-point play. What game of the Eastern Conference Finals did this occur? What game did this occur? Again, for those listening, it's 3-0 Eric. We're at question number 2. Now, the good news is you can guess here. It's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. I can promise that. Giving a little hint.
It wasn't 7. I know that.
What game did he hit it? Which it really wasn't even that loud there. Let's be honest. Like, that's a little overblown.
It was the loudest.
It was fine.
Ever. You heard it all the way in Jersey.
It was fine. I mean, I guess it was a little overblown, but I understand Knicks fans and what they do.
Oh man.
All right, I'm gonna need a guess.
Question, man. I'm gonna say game. Okay, hold on. I know they were the road team, so I'm gonna say game 3.
You're right.
Nice.
It was game 3. So that's 5 now for Eric. And we'll switch it up a little bit. We'll go back to Eric, and then we'll use it this way to allow Adam to get some steal points as well. And we'll start it that way. What 2 players were on both the 1999 Eastern Conference champion Knicks and the 2013 54-win Knicks? What 2 players were on both the 1999 Eastern Conference championship Knicks and the 2013 54-win Knicks?
Marcus Camby, Kurt Thomas.
Good work. Wow, that was impressive. That was like, you were like, yeah, I know that. That was like, woof, no blinking. All right, that is 7-0. All right, Adam, we got a little work to do.
I'm in big trouble.
Yeah, you might be. All right, I'm going to go to another recent-ish. Brook Lopez, who has scored the most points in Brooklyn Nets history. I'm speaking now just not for all of Nets history, but in Brooklyn history. Who's second to Brook Lopez in just the history in Brooklyn? Second in points behind Brook Lopez. So nothing New Jersey. Can't be a New Jersey person. who is second in Nets scoring history?
I can't miss this one.
The bright lights are on here on Bad Weather
Yeah.
Fans.
Starting to sweat a little bit.
Big bad Mike Biseglia is staring at you. No,
My man ain't got no AC, man. Like, you're making it hard here.
I got a couple names in my head, but I'm gonna go with just first instinct. I'm gonna say Darren Williams.
no. Eric, would you like to steal?
Can I ask this question real quick? If I steal and get it wrong, I lose points, right?
You lose a point if you do get it wrong. That's
1 point.
You lose a point.
Okay.
So, I mean, you're up 7-0. It
man.
might be worth the point. This is kind of like Jeopardy.
Yeah.
You know, how much are you going to put down? So, what are you thinking?
Right. I'm gonna. You said just Brooklyn, right?
Just Brooklyn.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say D'Lo.
No.
Damn. Okay.
Joe Harris. It's been with the team for 7 years in Brooklyn, compiling points. All-time 3 leader. They add up. Add up. We'll go New Jersey. We're gonna go back to Jersey, Adam. I'm fingers crossed on those ones. All right, Eric. Here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Name the 4 players that were selected by the Knicks with the 8th pick in the draft this century.
What? With the 8th pick? Did you say that?
Yep. 8th? Name the 4 players that were selected by the Knicks with the 8th pick in the draft this century.
And there is 4 players.
According to Knick Central, there are. I'll give you a clue.
I know 2. I'm thinking of the top, Frank and Obi.
Yep. I'll give you another clue. Like, should I give clues? I can't give clues. One of them's been on this podcast.
Channing Frye.
Correct.
God. And
we need an answer in 5.
Oh man.
4, 3. And the good news for you, Adam, here is if you do want to steal, he gave you 3 of them.
Right. That's
3,
not fair.
3.
Wilson
2,
Chandler.
Jordan Hill. Oh, I gave it. I answered it. Unless Adam knew that, I apologize. I skipped it.
Oh my god!
I did not know that. I did
did. That's like a famous pick because Steph went right before him. Oh my god! I'm embarrassed for not knowing that.
Yeah, I would be too.
Oh man,
I would be too.
I'm embarrassed.
You should be.
I'm embarrassed.
All right, here we go, Adam. We're going back to Jersey. This is one of my. This was the first question I thought of, and one of my favorite things to talk about as a Net fan. So I'm fingers crossed here, Adam. I'm believing in you. Which 3 players did the Nets receive on draft night in 2001 when they sent Eddie Griffin to Houston?
Jason Collins, Richard Jefferson, Brandon Armstrong.
My guy. All right. On the board. Let's go. Okay. It's 7-2. 7-2. Making a comeback.
I was also not happy about that.
6-2. I got 6.
Oh, 6-2. Well, you lost a point.
I lost the point when I guessed his
steal.
Wrong.
You're right.
Yeah.
Thank you for keeping me in track because, again, not talented enough to do all of them at once. All right, we'll go back to Adam, who's now quickly, amazing how fast things can change in the game. The 2006 Nets played the Miami Heat in the second round. Can you name me the game 1 starting 5? And if you're watching on YouTube, Eric had a look of no fucking chance.
Let me okay.
Again, for people listening, as Eric thinks, 2006 Nets versus Heat game 1. Can you name the Nets starting 5?
I'm gonna go Kid, Carter, RJ, Nated Kristich. Is that 4 or no?
That's 4.
Oh man.
Can I give you a clue? Do you want a clue? I've given clues out.
I got a clue, so it's only fair.
All right. This name's been mentioned tonight. This name's been mentioned tonight. You said Kid, VC, RJ, and Nated Kristich.
Let's try Jason Collins.
That's correct. That's correct. It was, if you think about how much of a different time it was, that you would have two centers on the floor at the same time, which is now unheard of in today's basketball, that you would have two guys around 7 feet, is truly crazy. Okay, so that means it's now 6-4, and this is tightening up a little bit. We still have a few questions left. How is everybody feeling right now? We've done 4 questions each. Eric, how are you feeling? You had a 7-0 lead. And you're like John Starks in 94. You doing all right?
I feel good, man. I'm still feeling good. No pressure, man.
All right. So we'll start again here with Adam. We'll go back to you. The Brooklyn Nets just selected Dariq Whitehead out of Duke in the first round. Before Whitehead, name the player the Nets drafted out of Duke in the first round. Who was the last player they selected in the first round out of Duke before taking Whitehead a few weeks ago?
Is it Mason Plumlee?
It was Mason Plumlee.
What?
It was Mason Plumlee. Wow, this is like Yankees Red Sox stuff. Unbelievable. All right. The pressure is now definitely on. All right, here we go. All right, you ready, Eric? Name the starting lineup for the 1994 NBA Finals for the Knicks.
Jesus. Oh man.
The 94 NBA Finals. I've got to say, this is turning into quite the battle. Great job by all our contestants. Nobody here leaving gets anything. Just 40 minutes wasted with me on a Wednesday night. But
so obviously,
go for it.
Obviously, Patrick. Harper. Damn. I don't think Oakley.
I'm going to hear the 5 and then I'll give you an answer. But so far, you're doing okay.
I got 3 in there.
Mm-hmm. Score is
Harper,
6-4.
Harper, Pat, Oak. Oh man, the guy's face is in my head right now, and I can't remember his damn name. That I was a guard. Oh man, I'm stumped.
We got 7 minutes. I'll give you. No. All right. We got 10 seconds, and we do have to move on.
Hubert Davis.
Incorrect. I'm sorry, Eric. Adam,
yeah,
would you like to steal?
I gotta pass. I got a couple names in mind, but I'm pretty sure it was the wrong season, so I'm gonna pass.
All right. The starting lineup for the 1994 NBA Finals Knicks: Derek Harper, John Starks, Charles Smith, Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing.
Yes, Charles Smith that's where I had like Thomas or some crap in my head.
Yeah.
And I didn't think Starks started. I don't know why I had it like that Starks came off the bench. I wanted to say Starks, but I'm like, he came off the bench, did he not? Or that was very early in my fandom.
All right. So let's see. Let's recap now as we do this on the fly, and we'll see how many questions everybody has done, making sure I haven't screwed this up. Adam has done, we'd asked Dariq Whitehead, that was 1. Joe Harris question 2. The Brooke Lopez answer 3. You got the starting 5 for the 06 Nets, that's 4. The 04 Nets that got swept is 5. And then the 6. So this was question number 6. I may have screwed this up. There is a chance that's happened. I apologize for everybody listening. I hope everybody is having fun, though. And then for Eric, you have also answered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You
Yeah, I
get
got one less
you got one
question.
less.
Yeah. And
So
the
you
score
do
is what now?
it,
Tied?
it, it
Or
is 6-4, correct?
It's
No, six
definitely
to six, 6-6, because you got
it's
the Mason
six
Plumlee.
six.
So
Yeah,
it is a
6-6.
tie. So because, as I've really set up the drama beautifully as the host here, because Eric did not get that and Adam, you did not steal, you each have a bonus left as it's tied 6-6. All right. Here, to go to bonus round, I'm going to put a number behind my back. Eric, this time you guess. What is the number? One or two?
7.
One or
Oh.
two? One or two? I only have 5 fingers. One or two?
1.
It's also a 2 again. I'm sorry. This is not rigged, I
Right.
promise. Adam, are you ready?
yeah. Let's do
Here's
it.
your question. In the 1998 playoffs versus the Chicago Bulls, who led the Nets in scoring that series?
I'm gonna go with Keith Van Horn.
It's a very good guess, but not correct. Eric, there is no steal option here. Unless you feel like you know it, I'll let you get it. If not, you'll get your own question for the win.
What year was it?
1998. This was the Last Dance Bulls.
Nah, I don't want to touch that. No.
Was it Cassell?
Kerry Kittles.
Sherman Douglas had a great
Who the
series.
heck is that? Oh my god.
Good. All right, Eric, for the win, or we'll have a tie. And honestly, would be so bad weather fans appropriate.
Right.
Can you name? Let me get the question. Here it is. It's 6-6 as I built up the drama so beautifully. Name all 7 Knicks players that were all-stars this century.
All 7 this century. Patrick, Houston, Sprewell, Tyson, Chandler, Melo, Porzingis, and Julius Randle.
Incorrect.
What?
You got 6 right, but you swapped Ewing and Amari Stoudemire. Ewing was not an all-star this century.
Oh man!
So it's 6-6. It's a tie. I have one more net question. I did right, but
Well,
it wouldn't be fair to give Adam that advantage. So the bad weather fans' first ever Nets versus Knicks trivia ends in a tie. The drama also wasn't great because we lost track of the questions. But again, I blame my producer, me, for not knowing that. But guys, thank you for participating. Eric, we'll start here in our post game wrap. Was it more difficult than you thought? Right on par, or after hearing these questions, what do you feel about it?
No, it was good. It was good. I'm still mad about the draft pick question, man. That one's gonna eat up me. I'm gonna be up all night now about that.
And for you,
this is the Knicks fan in me.
And for you, Adam,
I still can't believe Joe Harris is the second all-time leading scorer.
Right.
to be fair, there's also like a 35% chance that I screwed it up. So if you after this show look it up and it is Darren Williams, we'll edit that back in and you'll be the winner. There is a chance. I blame if it is the 2 kids doing a job trying to look up the questions. I'll solely blame myself. But that's what I saw. That's what I saw. But honestly, guys, thank you both so much for coming on the pod. I do feel like because you're here, do you have anything you want to say about your team's off season so far? You're both, I tongue in cheek, but Eric, great Knicks fan, passionate. Tell people where they can follow you on Twitter. Eric, we'll start with you, and then any feelings you have on this Knicks organization in the off season.
I mean, I think it's just E on Twitter. I don't care who's following me. But,
well, if there's anything else you want to plug, I mean, I don't, if you're selling something, I don't care, whatever.
I mean, just like I said, the season, it's been a very quiet off season. I think, obviously for the Knicks, and so it's like I called it at the beginning, it's pretty much some dog days right now. After the summer we had last summer with the Donovan Mitchell thing, practically all summer, I'm just kind of like I have no hopes or expectations on anything. I'm just waiting for the summer to be over with, and let's roll out the ball to whoever they got on the team and go from there.
And Adam, for you, follow if people want to follow you on Twitter and your feelings on the Nets in their offseason.
Yeah, so my Twitter is just my first and last name, Adam Orecchio. For the Nets, I'm hoping they get involved in this Lillard trade. I was pro Dame. I was on the Dame train. That was a big polarizing thing for the Nets, but now that they're out of it, and now that they have an opportunity to maybe get Tyler Hero, who's 23, 20 a game, I would love that. If not, we're just gonna run it back with this squad and just pray Ben Simmons, likes basketball again, which we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's about it.
We wouldn't mind Mikal Bridges though, if you guys, want to take a couple of our
stay away.
Heavily protected 4th round pick, so we can get
guy.
that Villanova Knicks, man.
If you want our heavily protected 1st round. Yes, this pick will be number 1 in the year 70-62, and Leon Rose will still be running the organization. Thank you both, Adam and Eric. We have our first ever contest. It is a tie, which is unbelievably appropriate for Bad Weather fans. Thanks again. This is episode 180. If you're first time listening to this podcast, go ahead and check out some of our archived interviews with some great Nets like Richard Jefferson, Kerry Kittles. On the Knicks side, Channing Frye, Chris Childs. We've also had some good guys like Tracy McGrady join the pod. So if you're a first-time listener, go ahead and check it out. Don't forget, you can find us on YouTube. Go ahead and give that subscribe button. And if you're listening on Apple, 5 stars, leave a comment. All that shit is greatly appreciated. This has been Bad Weather Fans, episode number 180. Eric 6, Adam 6. We have a tie as we head into the off season, and next year we'll have to do this again with you two guys. It'll be a lot of fun.
Rematch, man, for real.
Thank you guys. We'll see everybody later. Bye.
All right, fellas.